episode 24, and we on Out of the Mud Media LLC. You know they sponsor us, and I have my distinguished guest Calvin Clemmons here. And
All right,
this,
all right.
yeah, the subject is today is how do we honor those who have passed away? You know what I mean? And how do we really honor them? And really, for real, do we really honor them to the? If we honor them correctly, then they're supposed to be a very important part of our life right now today. You know what I mean? Now, you can forget people, but if they teach you something as far as principles, morals, and values, you should never forget them. You know what I mean? Because if it wasn't for them, then you wouldn't be the way that you are. You know what I mean? And if you're not proud of who you are, it's probably because you strayed away from what they taught you. You know what I mean? And sometimes we have to, when you stray away and get off course, you have to come back. It's very important to come back. Because
Hey, I totally agree with you. When things are the old school way is the best way. Somebody tell you something that is right, and I was raised old school just as well as yourself,
that's right.
and they prophesize things. They tell you things that it's gonna happen if you don't do this, and this will happen. You know what I'm saying? A disobedient kid don't come to no good end. I mean, a person that don't respect their forefathers and their parents will have a short living, a
Mm,
shortcoming,
yeah.
and I didn't understand that. And I as well was disobedient at some point, but I got corrected because I had the teaching that if you don't heed to the call, you will, you will fall. And so I learned immediately, from the hand that don't disrespect your elders. And what's written in blood, these folks tell you something because they've been there. They done lived a life and they got to their point in their life and they telling you what to do to navigate you through life. They was the GPS system that we have today. When you Google somebody and say, hey, can you tell me how you get to such and such? That's what the grandparents and the great grandparents were to the children at this point. You know what I'm saying? And that's why they are the legendary leaders and the founders of our communities and our families, because they taught us how to get you together. You know what I'm saying? I'm a father of six and a grandfather of 12.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? It's
okay.
their teachings was able to that I took and understood and learned to be able to give it to my children. It was my teachings to my children that gave it, that transcended to my grandchildren. So at the end of the day, what we're talking about, uh, how do we keep the dream alive? How do we keep the people that taught us how to live and to believe, how to keep it alive is to be able to pass it on and keep on believing.
Okay, I concur with you on that. I believe that I also believe to even go a step further is that a lot of us have strayed away from that which we have been taught. We act as if we haven't been taught anything because if you look at our actions and you look at the way, put it like this, do you think that our actions of today, the people who paved the way for us and taught us the very core principles that we stood on to get us this far in life, do you think that they would really be proud of us? Do you think that we are good representations or good representatives of that which they've taught us? And I would have to say, in most cases, when I look at today's society, I say no, because you can look at a lot of people's action, and the first thing thought that you may have be like, who raised you? Where this come from? Hold on, you didn't get this from the house. I know you ain't get it from the house because they don't even teach you nothing like this at the house. They don't teach you how to backbite. They don't teach you how to die. You know what I'm saying? They teach you how to live. They
Mm-hmm.
give you the lessons that you need in order to live a long, healthy life because they want that for you. You know what I mean? And oftentimes we didn't forget. We'd go to a funeral and put this person remains in the ground and we leave them there. And that's not the case. Um, we fail to realize that they live through us. You know what I'm saying? They still
Exactly.
live through us. The only way a person die, in my opinion, is if you forget about them.
Exactly.
Now, the people that really made a difference in your life, the ones that told you no, the ones that whooped your ass, the ones that told you hell no, and they seemed mean at the time, as you got older and you got to understand the life, you say, hold on. They just wanted what was best for me.
Amen.
You feel they didn't want
Yes, sir.
me to fall down the same, fall for the same traps that they knew that was out there and some of the traps that they fell for. That's just like if you run into a gentleman or you run into a lady that's on the corner, not on the corner selling her body, but on the corner just homeless. If you run into that person wasn't born like that. If you ask that person what got them there, oftentimes they will let you know that it come from me straying away from that which I had been taught.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Because all our people, as well as us, we just want best. We want what's best for the next generation. You know, um, Oftentimes in life, you realize that, hey, I got more days behind me than I have in front of me. Now, what can I do to make a difference? What can I do to make a difference, a positive difference in someone's life? You know what I'm saying? How will my legacy live on after I'm gone? How long will Pac said, how long will they mourn me? Well, how long is they going to remember you? And what is you going to be remembered for? Do you think that you, and I'm talking to myself as well, do you think that I'm a good representative of that which I was taught? Or do you say that you are the best representative of that which you were taught? I think that it's very important and it's very imperative that we take the time to ask ourselves these questions. And you have to also look at your people. Are you one to let them die? Or are you one to remember what they told you and apply it as best you can? Meaning and knowing that they only wanted what was best for you. They didn't want what was bad for you. They didn't want to see you go to go through the trials and tribulations and come up short. They knew that you're gonna be, if you live in life, you're gonna experience trials and tribulations, but they wanted you to win. So they gave you the information based upon what they knew to say, hey, all you need, this is a winning formula. Go to school, pay attention. Don't go to school to be a class clown. Go to school and learn something. If you there, learn something. Bring something back home with you. You know what I mean? And that's what they wanted for us. You know what I mean? They
I
knew
agree.
that, the quality of your life uh can actually be way better if you educate yourself. So they sent you to school every day. They didn't say stay at home. They say get up out of here and go to school and go do what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? So I think that we had to ask ourselves, how often do we go clean their graves off?
Mm.
How many people do you know that really made a difference in your life that you can say they got a headstone because you seen it?
Paying homage.
Paying homage. You got to pay homage to that which came before you, because one day you will be left behind. You feel what I'm saying? And if you don't teach the kids or teach the youth or teach people to honor your people, understand this: when you out in the world and you think you represent yourself, but you're not. It ain't just solely you. You represent the people who raised you. You represent them. So when you look out there looking bad in the world, you making them look bad. You know what I'm saying? Now, when you doing what's right, you making them look good. As well as yourself.
I agree.
So I think it is very important that we take the time to pay homage to those who passed form before us, man. You know what I mean? And make sure that, hey, go clean that gravesite off. Think about them. Talk about them. Let the kids know. The kids may not have been here when they was here, but hey, if it wasn't for this particular person, I wouldn't be the person that I am, because this person had an instrumental role in my development.
Yes, sir.
But we forget, we stray, we act like, oh no, I did this on my own. I'm this way because I'm this way. No, you this way because somebody taught you to be that way. Or if you're not that way, you didn't listen. And you that way because you chose to lean on your own understanding. You know what I mean? So it's very important, man, and imperative that we really pay attention, man, and pay homage to those that left this earth before we did. Because one day we gonna leave. Who gonna pay homage to you? And what will you be remembered for? What have you done when you can say, I need to be remembered generations from now?
Exactly.
What is your legacy about? You know what I'm saying? What is it hitting on? Who are you saying to say somebody did a job well done when they raised this young man or that young lady. Because even though that person has passed form, they still live through that person. You know, people still live through you, your actions. You know what I'm saying? Don't let your actions testify against the people who wanted what was best for you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Straight up. So we had to really take the time, man, to remember those who came before us. Remember those who was instrumental in playing an instrumental role in our lives.
Right.
We have to take the time to remember them. Ain't nothing spooky about remembering those who made a difference in your life. Actually, if you don't remember or pay homage to those who made a difference in your life, you're actually showing that you are very ungrateful. You're very ungrateful.
Exactly. I agree with you, Larry.
Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna cut in here and tell you just to piggyback off what Larry was saying is that uh, I grew up in the '60s and
Hmm.
'70s, and my parents didn't know that much about each other when they conceived me. It was he was attractive, she was she was cute or whatever, and it popped off, and here I am. And with my siblings, somewhat the same thing took place that night. That one found the other attractive, and they made a kid, and they took off, and moved on with their life, and it left the grandparents, which I have the honor to say that I was
Mm.
raised by some horrific, terrific
Terrific.
people.
Splendid.
Joe and Louisa Driver,
Hmm.
that picked up the ball, they picked up the bag, and that one would say the baton, and because these children didn't ask to be here, and we was made out of a moment. Rather he liked it her or her liked it he, and I was conceived, and so was my brother and my sister,
Mm.
and we were. You can say we were unwanted children, so we was just in the moment, but we were here. Once they hear,
Unexpected. We'll say
unexpected,
unexpected.
unexpected,
Unexpected.
and they hear it.
Right.
So, and my parents were young and they wanted to live their lives, and they were teenagers, and rightfully so. They needed to live their life, but thankfully that we had a secondary security system, which they call grandparents.
Mm.
You understand? Talk to me.
Yeah.
And they picked up the situation. They picked up their weight.
Picked up the slack.
But these kids don't know what they doing. So they grabbed us, our grandchildren, which we're the grandchildren. They say, hey, they took 10 kids.
Mm.
It was 10 of us.
Mm.
And they took us. And they said, we're going to raise these kids because their parents too busy having fun. They want to go to the club and they want to do this.
Mm.
And they need to go on, and we're going to raise these kids. We don't have that much of that today because today's grandmama is a diva. And the grandmother and the big mama back in the day, that's just what they were, big mamas and grandmamas. They carried the torch.
With big mama and grandmama, I ain't mean to cut you off, but with big mama and grandmama, they were through with the streets. They were through with it. They had time to be big mama and grandmama.
Exactly.
Right now, you don't have time to be big mama and grandmama. They glam mama and they got different names, but whatever the case may be, the thing is, they don't have time to raise the children.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And instill that which was instilled in them and the children. Exactly. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm with you 1,000%. Go ahead, cuz.
Yeah, so because that's what got me, and I thought what I was going through was a generational curse. You know what I'm saying? But I found out it was just family orientation, family looking out for family. It was not a curse. It was a blessing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I had to walk down the road. You know, you got to go down the road. You got to travel in life. You know, you got to grow up. And you get down the road halfway through life, you find out these people ain't my enemy. They teaching me to wash dishes and to say yes,
iron
ma'am, and yes, sir, and iron clothes.
Clean
Without
house.
their teachings, I couldn't be the man I am today.
Oh, man.
I couldn't move the furniture around or get through traffic hadn't it been for those forefathers, those grandparents that taught me how to work, how to respect people, and how to pay bills. Right. I was 9 years old when I paid the insurance bill. I was 12-year-old
back then when everybody
had
insurance.
Bill. Yes, everybody
had insurance.
That.
They did the older elders. You gonna have some insurance.
Insurance.
They had insurance on from the smallest to the tallest.
Hello.
In the family. It didn't make no difference with the mama got granny, they got everybody insured.
And they didn't have
we don't do that no more.
And they supposedly didn't have an education. Talk to me.
Right.
Now I'm talking loud, say something back.
That's right.
I'm raised by people that didn't have education. They were supposed to have been super slow. You understand me? But
Functionally, they
yeah,
called it functionally illiterate.
functional illiterate. But they gave me the passage, the bag, the information it took for me to get to the other level.
Right.
You understand?
Even if they didn't make it.
Even if they didn't make it.
That's right.
So how can I let them die and not keep them alive?
How could you forget about them?
How can I forget?
Come on, man.
Because if it wasn't for
you,
them,
that sounds like some very ungrateful stuff there.
If it wasn't for them, it wouldn't be no me.
Ain't no question.
If it wasn't for their compassion, I wouldn't be able to pass the bag to my children. My children wouldn't be able to pass the bag to my grandchildren. And I need to understand that. And I want to say to those that out there, if you have a child that you don't know if he or she like chocolate milk, I need you to find out what he or she likes and find out what grandfather liked and find out what your granddaddy used to do for the legacy to go on. Because this life that we live in out there, brothers and sisters, it's just a marathon. It's a race. When you get to first place or second place, you take the baton that you finished the race, hand it to the next generation and let them run the distance and give it to the next generation. That way we'll be able, the ones that die and fall and go to sleep forever, we'll be able to keep them alive for the rest of our days.
That's right. And the thing of it is that what we fail to realize is that our ceiling, meaning however high we can go in life, whatever life takes you, whatever level life allows you to go to, and you whatever level you get to, your ceiling, meaning as high as you can go, is supposed to be your child's floor. They're supposed to pick it up and keep going up, keep going up in the upward direction. So it's extremely important that we do not forget those who passed form before us. We have to honor them. You know what I mean? And that's something that us as black people, that's something that we got away from. We act like wherever you at in life, you got there on your own. You act like ain't nobody helped you do nothing. Ain't nobody led you. Ain't nobody taught you. So quit lying. And let's try to remember those who have done that for us, man.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? That's extremely important, man, because other than that, we seem very ungrateful. And when you're ungrateful, you become forgetful because you act like you done it yourself when you didn't do it yourself. You know what I mean? And you allow your loved ones to die. And the only reason why they died is because you refuse to keep their memory alive.
Hello.
You refuse to tell the children that's coming up, your grandchildren, hey, your granddaddy wouldn't be like this if it wasn't for your grandmama. Your granddaddy wouldn't be like this if it wasn't for your granddaddy. Even though you never got a chance to meet this person, but that person instilled this in me and that which I can instill in you. That put me in a position to instill this in you. So, it's extremely important that we never forget those who came before us and who left before us. You know what I mean? If they really meant something to you. And I think that was that subject there is something that has to be touched on because oftentimes we can get so busy in life with this topsy-turvy direction of life, how it's up one day, down the next, this day, turn this way, it's a curve, it's a hill, it's a mountain. We get so caught up into that, we forget where we come from. We forget who made the initial investments in us. You know what I'm talking about? The initial investments.
Yes, sir.
When we thought, oh, she being hard, she tripping, she don't want me to have no company. You know what I'm saying? She don't like people, me bringing different people to the house, coming in. And she mean. No, she ain't mean. She knew what was happening. She knew that they really coming in to case her place. And she didn't want them casing her place through you because she knew if it wasn't for you, they wouldn't be here because she ain't coming to see her. You see what I'm saying? Right. Straight up. So you know what I mean? And our parents and our grandparents and parents and those elders that came before us, they seen the world before we seen it. Ain't nothing new under the sun except that which has been forgotten. That's the only thing that's new. Something that you done forgot about. But it ain't new to everybody.
Because if it's under the sun, it's been done.
That's right.
My grandmother say, I had some fellas when I grew up. I grew up in Bucktown.
Okay. And, Bucktown one time?
Yeah. And my grandmother, I had 4 friends with me. And I come over to the house with my friends, and it was 4 of them. Mm-hmm. And my grandmother said, I said, these my partners. She said, them your partners? And I said, yes, ma'am. And she said, well, there's 4 of them. I said, yes, ma'am. She said, you cool with all of them? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, boy, that's too many of them. I said, Mama, what you talking about? She said, Calvin, it's 4 of them. She said, you ain't got but 2 eyes. You can't watch but two of them. I missed the message. You understand? I dropped the ball.
Come
You know
on,
what I'm saying?
man.
She had told me I couldn't watch but two of these niggas. Yeah,
Two of
excuse
these
me,
what?
what? There's
Thank
these brothers.
you. Okay, people.
Pardon
I
the
mean,
body.
it could be
Two of these
Mark
people.
Lane, Vic
But
Stricks,
but I'm
whatever,
saying,
just not the end.
pardon the body.
Okay, my
She
man.
said to me, "You can't watch but two of them, Calvin.
That's right.
You only got two eyes,
Mm.
and you got four friends. You can't watch but two of them.
What about the other two?
Two of them, the other ones might be slick, and you don't know which two of them is two sets of two. So you don't know which one is loyal and which one is dishonest. So you come in and you introduce them to me as friends. I'm gonna tell you something about this thing called life. Three of them ain't gonna be here later on when you get where you're going in life. Mama, what you talking about? They my ace boon coon. She said, baby, keep living. Because it's what I'm telling you, it's gonna land in your lap. You understand what I'm saying? It's gonna land in your lap. Yeah. And when I got down the road, those four friends that I had, I don't have now. And this is a woman that said something to me in the early 70s. Here we is in 2024.
Okay.
And I don't have not one of them individuals with me today.
So she knew what she was talking about.
I mean, she spoke this into existence in the 70s. This was 1975, 76. Talk to me.
Yeah.
I'll talk back.
Yeah.
And this is called boss sense. Because it was given to me by people that, they say that she didn't finish school. They say she
third grade education.
Come on, man. And she was giving me a gift that it didn't take me to get to the 7th grade or the 12th grade to understand that these people weren't my friends. So you need to understand that I respect the path I came, and I respect the people before me and the ones that taught me. And I'm going to keep them alive by breathing this information onto you all out there, the media, to let you know that in order to keep this dream alive, we have to be able to talk about it, be about it, and continue the situation. We can't let just because they buried that individual don't mean they dead. You have to keep their memory open and alive, and hand it to your grandchildren and your grandchildren. They need to know about great grandmama so-and-so. They need to know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you know where you come from, you kind of figure out where you're going, baby.
Oh, man.
Hello?
Oh, man.
Go ahead on, next.
Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, man. Okay. But that's facts, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think we stray away far too often from that which has created our foundation. You know what I mean? For real. And that's it's simplistic in sounding, but it's true. We stray away. I mean, once you just think about it, once you go to a funeral, or once you put that person in the ground, how often is you going back to visit when you put the person remains at? How often? Do you know how many graves and this just overgrown? The tombstones are sunk in the ground because ain't nobody been out there to check on them people.
Unattended.
Like they was nothing.
Yes, sir.
I mean, like their existence meant nothing while they was here on earth.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that's something, man, we got to get away from, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things we can change on our own. We have to. Mm-hmm. We have to take the time to say, hold on, man. This is my mama. This is my grandmama. This is my great grandmama.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? If you were fortunate enough to know these people, you understand me? Because you was here, they was here when you were born. If you're fortunate enough to know them people, you supposed to extract and take all you can from them people. And if you missed your great grandmama and you missed your grandmama, but you knew your mama, you still met them too. You met your great grandma, great mother, you met your great grandmother, and you met your grandmother. Even if you wasn't alive even if they passed transition before you came out, you met them through your mother. You know what I'm saying? You met them through your mother, whether she told you or not. You met your father's side through your father. You know what I'm saying? Because these are people that breathed on your people.
Right.
These are the people who instilled these type of beliefs in your people. And then your people turn around and give it to you. So it didn't come from your people. It came from the people before your people. You know what I mean? And that's something that we really have to take the time, man, and analyze and remember them. Remember them. Even if they didn't get a chance to know you, remember them.
Yes, sir.
Remember them. That's all for real. That's serious, man. You know what I'm saying? We go too long and far too often without remembering the people, man, that's most important, that had the most significant impact on our lives. A lot of them didn't even live to see what we matured into becoming. They didn't even live to see this, see the moment of the day.
Right.
And you can't even take time to pay homage to them, or at least carry yourself the way that they would want to see you carry yourself. So you can represent them, so they can say, hold on, who is your people? Who you come from? Oh, I came from such and such and such and such. Wow, they did a hell of a job.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, because your actions testify that they did a hell of a job, because you didn't get the way that you are by yourself.
Exactly. Because somebody taught you at some point.
Flat out.
And it didn't come from school.
No. Everything don't come from school.
No, everything.
School just preparing you for the joint, but that's a whole nother. That's a whole nother.
That's a whole nother topic.
That's a whole other thing. We can go into that at another time. But
Yes,
that's just
sir.
preparing you for that. You know what I'm talking about? But far as life. See, a lot of times we go through life not paying attention to life, not learning from life.
Right.
When life is a series of lessons, man. It's a series of lessons, man. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't get it right, don't trip. Because life going to bring it back around to you again. And it's going to keep bringing it around to you till you get it right.
Yeah, if you live long enough, you'll figure it out.
Exactly. And if you just that slow and you don't get it, then sometimes life will pass you and pass you on by. And you will transition without having the time to get it right. Or taking the time to get it right.
Right.
So that's extremely important, man. We have to really look at our people, man. Look at, and honor them, man. Honor them by your actions, man. That's how you honor your ancestors or the people that came. Okay, here it is. Okay, you have your parents. Okay, they're your parents. They're the reason why you got here. Once they transition, they become your ancestors. How often do you honor your ancestors? Would your ancestors be proud of you? Would they be proud of the way that they taught you to teach the next generation?
Yes. Yes.
Or would they say you fell asleep at the wheel and you didn't teach the next generation nothing?
Okay.
And that's why we're in the condition that we're in as a people.
Exactly.
So it's we have to take some hard looks at ourselves, man.
Yes.
Because you can only play the blame game for so long, man, for real, without the finger pointing right at you.
You say when you point three of them,
when you point one at somebody else, it's three pointing back at you.
Oh, there it is. There.
That's it right there. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? So we have to really position ourselves to stop, slow down, go back to the basics. Go back to the basics. It ain't hard to do. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes when you go back to the basics, it's real simple. Go back to that which you were taught and execute the things that you were taught so you can become the best person that you can be. And you can have a real impact on this world.
Exactly. I agree. Again, when you live life and like I've lived, I'm 62 years old and I've seen some things and,
That's right.
And I have been told some things in life. And I honestly say I've been schooled to the point to where the life that I'm living to this point has been for the blessings to my grandmother. You know what I'm saying? And my grandfather, Joe Driving Louisa, because, and these were people that were supposed to be uneducated, but I'm saying through them I live, and through my father, lawyer, and through my mom, Willie, and so on. I take traditionally what I got from them, but I'm saying it was their parents that got me across the road. You know what I'm saying? Because my parents were busy doing living each other, living life. They were children.
That's why I say older people make better parents.
Yeah.
Simply because, if you have children when you're young, well, you can really do a disservice to the children because you can't show them how to find their way when you're busy trying to find your own way.
Ooh, wait.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yes,
so
sir.
you're busy trying to find your way. So the kids' way, you feel like, hold on, you younger than me, so I need to know the way before you need to know the way. So let me find the way. Well, while I'm out here trying to find the way, I'm actually neglecting you in your development.
Yes, sir.
You see what I'm saying? So it's extremely important that we take the time to, to own up to the shit that we do wrong. Own up to it. Because that's the only way you're gonna change it. Because you tell me one person that's gonna fix something that ain't broken, I'll show you a retarded. Well, I'll show you a person with special needs. You see what I'm saying? If you're gonna fix something that ain't broke, you know what I'm saying? Okay, you're gonna reinvent the wheel. Okay, so but the thing of it is that older people make better parents. So once you reach a certain age of maturity, you understand what life is about. So now you can actually teach these children what they need to know to prepare them for the life that you know that's ahead of them that they have no idea about. You see what I'm saying? So like I say, it's all about paying homage to those that came before us. You know what I'm saying, and never forgetting them. You need to remember them just like you remember the people that you say you love that's alive.
Right. The picture need to be in the living room, huh?
Yeah, you better know it. I'm telling you. I mean, for real.
Yeah.
My baby, she know about mama. She know about her granddaddy. She know their name. And they never met them. They was gone. They was gone before she got here.
All right.
But she know them. She can tell you about them. You would think she know
She
them.
can tell you something about each
Oh,
and
she
every
gonna
one
tell
of them.
you. She gonna tell you who. And she know their names. She know who they is. She know what position they play. She know that they was very instrumental.
Give me a little bit on that
come on,
right
man.
there, El.
They was very
I like
instrumental in
that. I love
daddy's
you, brother.
development.
That's all
You
right.
feel what I'm saying?
And
For
that's the
real.
only way we're gonna be able to keep this thing going is about being explaining. Tell the kids about their peoples so they can be able to know who their
Come
people
on, man.
is.
Hold on. You got to teach them where they come from.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hold on. You ain't hold on. This was beneath you. Do you know your grandmama would have never had you let you do this? Because this is beneath you. You better than that.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? To instill some type of self-worth in the children. You know what I mean? To say, hold on, man. It's just like our parents, they like, hey, hold on. You gonna pray, you gonna go to church.
Yeah, it was
Mama didn't play that.
mandatory.
What? You going to church. I don't care. You can go to the club. You can go to the little dance at the school. But just know you getting up tomorrow morning, Sunday morning, and you going to church.
Just know that.
You just know that. You already know. It ain't
So
even
if you do
it's
what you're gonna do
non-negotiable.
tonight, just know what you're doing
It's
in the morning.
non-negotiable. You gonna be there. You know how mama was. She ain't
Oh
play no
yes,
games.
indeed, brother.
Man.
You know I know AD all day long, brother.
Said Calvin got that little stiff rag downstairs.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
I don't know what Calvin down there doing, but he got. I know what a stiff rag is. I ain't been in the world that long, but I know. I'm telling you, I know that he was doing something down there with that
doing
girl.
something wrong.
Yeah. She didn't find the rag
in front of Larry.
My baby, you know what I'm saying? I'm paying homage to my baby. She ain't here. No, she's no longer here, but she's still here.
Yes.
Because y'all hearing me talk about her right now. And she been going since 99, November 15th of 1999. You know what I mean? But she's still here. Because she lived through me. That's why I say they never die unless you forget about them.
That's exactly right. And we want to keep them alive. And to all our listeners out there, if you haven't been out to the gravesite of your mom or your great mom or your great grandma,
aunties, anybody that's instrumental in your life, go.
Yeah, go out. Even if they weren't instrumental, go out and know your people. Go out and pay homage.
Take your kids out there. You know what I'm saying?
Keep this generation, because you got to understand that we was a generation of people that was sold to different peoples and this and this. Now we know who we are and we can connect to our grandparents and our great grandparents. We know who we are. So why not keep the family tree together?
Got to keep it.
You know what I'm saying? And why not hand the ball off to the next generation for they could be able to tell their children about great so and so, and people's I know like hanging pictures in the hallway about great grandma and this and this and that. No, that's not old school. It's not out of style. It's always what it is.
It's paying homage, man.
It's paying homage. Because if you don't know your people's what you come from, it's hard to get to the top.
Watch, I'm finna show you a quick example, cuz the one that I used, I didn't use before. And I thought it was very instrumental to get to driving the point home. Okay, so if you took Carpenter Road projects, okay. So say you took 2 children from Carpenter Road projects and you took them and you placed them in Buckingham Palace in London or England, wherever it's at. You take them to the palace. You show them all the stolen artifacts. These was once your people stuff. Okay, now and you take the Prince Charles and the little which other one Henry, whichever one I can't think of their name, but you take them two and you set them inside the projects. Now, although those are 2 different locations, what you're gonna find is the 2 kids that you took from the inner city and took them to Buckingham Palace. They're gonna look around and walk around that palace and they're gonna feel out of place. They're gonna feel like they don't belong, like this is not ours, we just here. They don't want to touch nothing or whatever. And then you take them two princes, the fake princes, whatever, you take them and you take them in the projects. They're gonna walk around that project with their head held high, a sense of They're gonna have a certain sense of this is beneath us. They're gonna because they know where they come from, and then the children who artifacts is in London is really theirs. They don't notice, so they're gonna feel out of place. So the thing of it is tapping back in to where you come from. Knowing where you come from is instrumental in taking you to where you're going.
Yes, sir.
For real. So, so I think that it's extremely important that we take the time and we look at things. We take the time and we remember those. You know what I mean? It's doing them a disservice to forget about them. You know what I mean? Because we all got to leave here one day. We all gonna leave here one day. Don't think you're gonna be here forever.
No, you ain't.
If you think you're gonna be here forever,
you got an expiration date.
You better know it. Yeah. You had a birthday, you're gonna have an expiration date.
Yeah, it's like canned good.
Yeah, you better know it. And it's gonna expire at some time. Now, are you gonna teach the children to remember you? Are you gonna teach the children to remember the ones that came before you that they don't know, but they know through you? It's your job to tell them about the ones that they don't know. It's your job to teach them, hold on, this is beneath you. We don't even, we come from people that's greater than this. We don't do this. You see what I'm saying? And that's extremely important because I think that that's very important,
Yeah, and I think that I think the message you're sending out tonight to the media is that for those that are gone don't mean that they're gone, and you need to keep them alive by reliving the situation to your nephews, your nieces,
pass it on whatever they gave you.
Yeah, whatever they gave you, pass the baton.
Pass it on
and explain it and simplify it to the fullest extent to where that they feel you can tell them a story about how this was, how such and such was, and let them know that this you come from a generational of good people. You know what I'm saying? So it's no, you're not, you may think that you set up to lose, you know what I'm saying? But you're not. You come from a generation of successful peoples and you just don't know that you are from that.
What's sad when you think you set up to lose and you got everything to win. That's sad, man.
Yeah.
When you think, you sit up and listen to society and look at things and you think that, you set up to lose when you really set up to win because you got everything. But when you stray away from that which you've been taught, your principles, your morals, your values, when you stray away from that, anything goes. At that point, anything goes.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? For real, anything goes, and we don't want that for our people. We don't want it for ourselves, and we also want to make sure that we take the time to remember those who came before us and those who left here before us. We have to remember. You know what I mean? You have to, because with each individual, there's a story. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And there's a lesson in everybody's lives. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, we have to take the time to really pay attention to that.
So your word today would be to the ones, to our family members that's out there in the cemeteries, those heroes that we don't often go see. We need to put signatures on their grave and go out and give them their flowers.
Yep.
And keep them alive and let your children know about them.
Grandchildren.
And there shouldn't be a day, Memorial Day or something like that, with no one attending. Great grandmother's situation. Somebody should always be out there.
We should not allow ourselves to let one day determine where we supposed to be and how we supposed to honor the people that made a difference in our life. Every day we supposed to honor them.
That's true.
Every day.
Yeah.
If you wait for Memorial Day, then Labor Day, then this day and that day. No. I'm not gonna give you that much power to dictate my thoughts to tell me what I need to be thinking about. When I know the principle, the core principles within my life, the things that's made a true difference in my life, I know that I experienced it through these people. So I don't have the right to ever forget these people. You know what I mean? Just ask yourself, how would you feel if you taught somebody something and not only did they forget that you taught them this, they also forget to apply it. How would you feel?
Right.
If you don't apply it, now, just like, anybody that's been instrumental in your life, if you don't apply it and you forget or you act like you forgot that they ever even gave you that information, you know what I mean? How would you feel? It's kind of like casting seeds on cement.
Yeah.
These people want to speak into your life because they saying, hold on. We had older people say, boy, if I could start over, if I was where you was, I'd do it a whole lot different. Okay. We didn't understand the depths of what they really were saying. They saying, hey, I know I got more days behind me than I got in front of me, But if I had your opportunity and I was where you was at, I would play it a whole lot different and actually do it. So that's all they saying.
And that
They
means
want
a
they
lot.
want to see you use what they may have abused or misused.
Right.
That's the time.
They want you to execute what they were able to
Yeah,
execute.
exactly. That's what they want. They want to see that.
Yeah.
You know, ain't nothing to make them more prouder than to see you do with that which they knew you could do and that which they had the opportunity to do but didn't do it. They don't want to see you squander your opportunities like they may have squandered theirs. You
And
know what
that's
I
why
mean?
they let you know that that what I didn't do, I want you to do.
Yeah.
You,
Facts.
I get it.
Facts.
I get
Facts.
it. Yeah.
Facts.
So,
Facts.
and I think I think that means a lot, man. I think I'm just sitting there just reminiscing about what we're talking about, and I'm in my own zone right now emotionally, just thinking about where I come from and how much it's important for me to let my children know. And sometimes I may give a story, it can be a little egregious to the bad side on the negative end, but it was all egregious in a positive setting. You know what I'm saying? I took it the wrong way, but it was a positive outcome because I benefited from it. You know what I'm saying? And you benefited from it because what taught me, I taught you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and what taught them, they taught my parent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and I get what you're saying. So, you listening out there, we got to pay homage to our people and know your people and keep the legacy alive.
Yeah, and don't
Yeah,
forget about them. You
yeah,
know what I mean? Because we all had people who passed form that meant something to us. Everybody. You know what I mean? And oftentimes when we put them in the ground, we act like it's over for them. We forget about them. A lot of times we even forget what they taught us. You know what I'm saying? When you know if you apply what they taught you, you'll be that much further ahead in life.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
For
saying?
sure.
You know, for real. You know.
Absolutely right.
So yeah, you know. And that's something that we have to really, focus on. Focus on taking the time to remember those who came and paved the way before you. Before you, it ain't got to be Martin Luther King. It ain't got to be Malcolm X. It's somebody even closer, somebody you know.
Yeah.
You know,
Somebody that's in the family
right?
that actually did the lead work.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on.
So for you even get to the hero level, that's where the heroes start at inside the home.
Those are who you know.
Yeah,
Them the heroes you know.
Then the first line,
Them the
the first
tangible
line,
heroes
yeah,
that
yes.
once was tangible. You know what I mean? Because they was there. You know what I'm saying?
First line of defense, the first line of offense. Yeah.
Come on, man. So
the
we
ones
have
that make a way out of nowhere. Sugar water,
come on,
turn
man.
it into syrup,
Mayonnaise bread.
mayonnaise
sandwiches. You dig?
barbecue sandwiches. And while you're running around here talking about Roman noodles, we had barbecue sandwiches, sugar sandwiches, banana sandwich, and mayonnaise.
Toast with
You,
sugar on
you
it.
don't you don't understand this life you call
man.
yourself living. Because my grandmother said, if it's under the sun, it's been done. And making a way out of no way, it's always been that way. And the problem is that once you get a piece of something, you forgot where you come from. Some of those that forget, you know what I'm saying? And that's why it's hard for your table to stay sturdy because you forgot where you come from. That's why you living on shaky ground.
Yeah, and then the number 4 is for foundation. It's symbolic for foundation. A table got 4 legs. You know what I'm saying, to keep it centered. You know what I mean? So you have to understand wherever your teachers come from, whoever was that instrumental influencer in your life. You have if they pass form, if they didn't pass form, that's even beautiful because you need to tell them thank you. You need to tell them thank you and look, I'm finna apply what you've been teaching me. I'm finna apply what you tried to instill in me. You know what I mean? And the majority of people who really try to instill things in you, they may not even be around to see you bring it into fruition.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if they ain't, you might can't physically see them, but that don't mean that the spirit, you can't kill the spirit, man.
Never.
When I remember seeing my mom's in the casket, through pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm like, dang, that's mama. I said, she looked like she sleep. I'm looking at the picture. I'm like, she looked like she sleep. I'm like, but it's something missing. And so for a couple days, I kept saying, something missing, something missing. And eventually it came to me, the spirit is missing. Her spirit ain't inside her body no more. That's what renders the body, self deceased. Because the spirit has escaped the body. You know what I'm saying? But that didn't say the spirit died.
No.
You know what I'm saying? That ain't to say she might can't say, son, job well done. She might can't pat me on the back for this and that. But that don't mean that she ain't, taking a place. And I like to even say like some of the things that I've been through. I would love to be able to say, yeah, I did that on my own. But to go through, I'm glad I don't look like what I've been through, because to go through what I've been through and to come out unscathed with my mind in place and things in order, faculties in order, all that, for that to be, I know it just that man, it was a praying mama I had. You dig? I know
Amen.
she was
Amen.
praying for me.
Oh, yes, she
You
was.
feel me?
Oh,
When
yeah.
you
I
come
know her
through, when you
personally.
go
That's
through,
my favorite
yeah,
aunt.
that's
Yes,
right. When
indeed.
you go through something and you go through it and you come out unscathed, but you come out with the lessons, you come out with all the blessings that was inside of that experience. When you come, you can't say you. I would be really. It would be amiss of me to be talking about I did this on my own. I did it. Man, come on, man, quit playing. I ain't did nothing on my own. You know what I mean? For real. And I know it has something to do with the people who was here for me and left before me. You know what I mean? They was here for me and they left before me. You know what I'm saying? I'm still here. And so now it's my job to make sure that everybody know. If you listen, you got some ears. I got some people to tell you that really made a difference in my life. You know
Right
what I
on.
mean? For
Right
real.
on.
And I never forget them. You know what I'm saying? And if you really if you really want to see things change in your own life, remember those, that came and left before you that had a significant impact on your life. Remember them and see them things. See what start happening in your life. We so vain to where they can actually be our guardian angels, and we don't even see them as that. We think, oh, I did this on my own. Yeah, I'm like that. No, you ain't like nothing. You know what I'm saying? You ain't like nothing. It's just somebody left before you that, got in God's ear and said, hey, look out for this person. Please, God. If you ain't doing nothing else, please watch out for this fool. You know what I mean? Please watch out for this fool. Take care of my baby for me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And he heard they please. You know what I'm saying? So.
And that's why you've been covered. They say you've been covered with the blood.
Come on, man.
And you don't even, and you think you're lucky, but you've been covered by the blood. You can't even acknowledge the blessing because you don't even know your forefathers or what you come from.
That's right.
And that's what you get to know. And that's the praise that you're talking about,
right.
Mr. L. I got you.
Flat out. You know what I mean?
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah, man. It's just, because I don't have a problem with this, because this is something that I exercise. This is one of the things that I don't talk about, but it definitely be on my mind. I definitely pay homage to my ancestors. You know what I mean? And I ain't talking about people that died 200 years before I got here. I'm talking about the ones that I knew that passed for them. You know what I'm saying? They no longer here in the physical sense. But at the same time, we're not supposed to forget about them or forget about the contribution that they made in our lives.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of your ways, you think they're your ways, motherfucker. You got them ways from them.
Exactly. Because I still mop the way they taught me how to mop.
Come on, man.
I still use Lysol. Aunt B taught me about Lysol. I knew how to kill a germ before I knew how to get somebody pregnant. So let me just say, I was clean before I was messy. You understand me? So I was brought up in the spirit. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn how to desensitize, how to sterilize my area. You understand me?
By the way, Aunt B is my mama.
Yeah.
Hey, she gonna make sure that Cal come in. He just
and if you don't know what Lysol is, it's a brown bottle out there, ladies,
with the yellow top.
Get some.
And listen, yeah. And she would take Calvin. Yeah, you can go to the dance. You can do what you gotta do, but you going to church tomorrow.
So
you gonna be in church.
You can be out late all night, but you gonna get up in the morning.
You can be out in Park Villa on the green box, the green electrical
Not
box.
The green box.
Joint.
Come on now.
You did to 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. You understand me? But you going to church.
You going to church in the morning.
Yeah, flat out. You ain't gonna get around it.
I got baptized. I didn't just go. I got baptized. I got slam dunks in the pool. In the name
you got drowned
in the name of Jesus. Come on now.
That's B word.
Talk to me.
I'm talking about, and
man. I've been living that life. And if it weren't for that baptism, I didn't understand when I was baptized what I was being baptized for. And I didn't understand the troubles that had already been on me and some of the sin that I had already been laid on me. And they had been rinsed off and I had been covered by the blood of Jesus. I didn't know it. I understood it. I had been taught it and spoke to me and everything. But it didn't come to me till I got down the road in life. If you live long enough, it'll come to you.
Oh, yeah. If it don't fly by you, it'll come to you.
Yes, sir. And it landed in my lap. And I learned to be appreciative to Aunt B. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because she put the light on me. She got me in the right directions. So when I go in in a dark place in my life, I know how to pray, and I'm not ashamed to pray. And that's the problem with some of us out here. We are ashamed to pray. We're ashamed to talk to somebody that we can't see. You'll go to the therapist and tell him all your business, but you won't go in the corner and talk to God. I ain't trying to call the therapist out, but I just want you to get to know somebody like Jesus, get to know somebody like God, get to know somebody that's a higher supreme, that's bigger than what we are, and be able to share your problems with, to be able to lay down and speak to this individual in the dark and feel better when you walk away from the corner.
That's right.
You can't be too gangster for God.
You can't be too gangster for God.
You better not
baby.
be too gangster for
Better not
God.
be God. Because when you end up where you're going, baby, you're gonna get to know him.
And you better not be ashamed of him.
No,
you know,
because he's gonna show up and show out.
Yeah,
he'll make a fool out of you. Yeah, real quick.
Yeah.
He'll show you why you're dancing with the devil, who he is.
Yeah. Well, you are just slow dancing.
Why you
with the
think
devil.
you won over there? You over here waving the baton in the end zone. You understand? You ain't even scored. It's still 4th and 1.
How man?
Give it to me.
Yeah.
Let Jesus know he the one. That's the first down.
Right.
That's all.
But yeah, let's just I'm saying all to say this. Let's keep our loved ones in mind. Let's never forget them. Let's never forget what they've been through. Let's never forget how they wanted to see us.
Yeah.
You know, let's never forget, and let's live up to that. Let's try to live up to what they seen in us that we didn't see in ourselves. You know what I'm saying? For real. And if you notice anything about this podcast, for real, you know, I can tell you how to die. I can come on this joint every Monday and tell you what you can do to die fast. But you're going to die anyway. You know, I'm trying to tell you how to live. You know what I'm saying? For real. I'm trying to, make you take a close look at yourself and improve your own life. Don't expect for no improvement to come outside of you, because you got to do it first. You got to do it for yourself. You know what I mean? And with that being said, this has been another episode of Lessons with Larry. Matter of fact, it's episode 24. And I appreciate having my big cuz Calvin.
Oh, no way. Much
you know
love,
what I'm saying?
bro.
He came in kicking with me, you know what I'm saying?
All the time, man, baby.
We appreciate Out of the Mud Media, LLC, for hosting us and giving us a platform to be able to speak the things that we know that will make a difference in other people's lives as well as our own lives. Because understand this here, my lips is closer to my ears than they is to this microphone. You know what I'm saying? So I hear everything that I'm saying and I live up to it and live by it. You know what I mean? So I don't come here checking, trying to act holier than thou or like I got it all figured out because I know enough to know that I don't know enough. You know what I'm talking about? But the whole fact of the matter is I just want to see us do better as a people. I want to see us do better, just period. I want to see everybody's life just elevate. Elevate. Go to the next level. Don't be scared of the next level. I know we creatures of comfort and we like to stay stuck where we at, but no, move to the next level because everything around you is moving to something different. Everything around you is transforming and becoming something greater. So why don't you try to catch up with the things around you and you become something greater? Because that's right. What I'm working on. Mm-hmm. And if we all work on ourselves, guess what? We're going to be better regardless. Can't nobody stop that. You know what I'm saying? So, this is another episode, like I said, Lessons with Larry podcast. I'm Larry Lott. You understand me? Giving it to you as I know best, just real and raw. That's all I can do. You know what I mean? I ain't come to tickle your ears, and if you ain't get nothing from it, cool. It may not apply to you. It may not even come to you, but it'll come to you later, and then you'll be like, okay, well, shit, bro knew what he was talking about, a cousin or uncle, whoever. Yeah. He knew what he was talking about. He was thinking about something that we wasn't even thinking about. But these are the things that need to be on your mind. And then when you have these type of things on your mind, your decisions will be a whole lot different. And if you make your different decisions, guess what? Your life will be different. And like I say, I'm still working on mine. I'm working on mine as we speak. Yeah. You know what I mean? Trying to be the best man that I could be so I can make a better impression of my people who instilled in me and who invested in me to say, I want Larry to be this. I can see Larry doing this, or I can see Larry doing that. I want to live up to that. I want to live up to their expectations because I know they did not expect for Larry not to be nothing. And I wasn't born to be nothing. I was born to be something.
Hello.
So that's what's happening.
I agree with that.
My man.
All right.
I'm talking about. So, we got George Grundy II. You know what I mean?
All right, Mr. Grundy over there.
Yeah, program manager.
Smooth
what
cruise.
I'm saying? And keeping us on the air and keeping it live. We appreciate him. Like I said again,
Got that Keith Sweat swagger over there. He keep it coming.
We got James Mayfield, the greatest Mayfield. He ain't here tonight, but he's still here in spirit. You know what I'm talking about? He ain't got to physically be here because he's here in spirit. You know what I mean? So, With all that, I want everybody to be safe until next week. You know what I mean? And think about some of these things. You know what I mean? Just think about it. You ain't got to talk about it. Just think about it to yourself. And I know somebody out there somewhere made a difference in your life that's in past form, and you need to be thinking about them too. And be grateful for that which they instilled into you. And with that, that's my commentary. You know what I mean? And I'm out of here. Is anything you like to say, cuz, before we
I want
leave?
to tell you, get out to them cemeteries and pay homage to those folks, to your family, your leaders, the ones, those fallen soldiers. They fought the war. You know what I'm saying? So let them stand tall in your life and go out and reward them and stand and keep them in memory, generational after generation. Keep this thing going. You know what I'm saying? It only go as far as you're allowed to go. So if you keep love alive and faith and history and of a family and what we're doing alive, we'll continue to prosper
As a people.
as a
And
people.
that's all we want to do, man. We just want to elevate. We want to congratulate. We want to elevate. We want to be. We want to see us being the great people that we know we are and that which we can be. You know what I mean? For real. So with that being said, we'll see you next week with episode 25. Until then, you know what I mean? Have a safe week, you know what I mean? And do the best you can do and be the best that you can be.
All
You
day,
know,
every day.
and it's yeah, it's